Two will enter. One will win. Welcome to the fight. Welcome to the knockout.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 11 of the Knockout. This is one of those very fun matchups that Fate put together. You know, it's one of those true, what is stronger in the world, nature or technology? Because we see, technology with the power to ruin planets, the evidence of like our atomic bombs and things like that. But then at the same time, you see Mother Nature with a tornado or hurricane swing by and nothing standing in its way. So I cannot wait to see where Poison Ivy and Brainiac end up because they are nature versus technology. So I cannot wait to see where it ends up. So please welcome. He finally has power, ladies and gentlemen. Brainiac, Big Will Comics. How's it going? You're on mute, by the way.
I have arrived, and I'm doing good, man. It's time to crush this femme fatale. She's just nothing in my sight. Let's do this.
Well, I look forward to your arguments. Yeah, so I'm glad you have power and all that. Just bad timing and all that. Just like right before the show, no power. It's like, oh, son of a.
Yeah. I thought about sending you a message. Oh, it went out again, just to mess with you. But I was like, no, that's too cruel.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time, after all. I get cruel joke. All right, and Poison Ivy, argued by JP. Welcome, JP. How's it going?
Yo, how's it going?
Yo. With his nice first appearance, Poison Ivy right behind him.
Yeah, I know.
So, cool book. I have the facsimile, I think.
I do too. So, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's the only one I'm going to own for a while at the very least. So, I cannot wait to get this show started here. A lot of fun. Actually, I need to switch you two around here. That way you guys are arguing on your representative sides. So, everyone who watches the Knockout knows the usual rules and all that. There are no official challenges on this matchup because villains don't have rules. So you guys are on your own and anything that flies. And Mother Nature, don't know if she fights fair or not. So we'll have to see what Brainiac and his cold, heartless machine calculations can bring up. So, any questions or comments before you guys want to get started here?
We're ready? Whenever.
Awesome. All right. JP will take it away with the opening statement for Poison Ivy.
Sure. I feel like this is obviously you said it to start with, Matt, that it was technology versus nature, and technology sometimes wins, initially, but in the long run, Mother Nature always wins. And yeah, it's Poison Ivy, an actual interesting character, versus an evil AI, because there's only like 1 billion of those that we talk about. But an evil AI, the weakness, and always loses to a guy that's just really strong because it's not smart enough to beat him. So how is it going to beat an actual member of the Green who can actually be killed? Like, she's been killed multiple times, and she literally just grows back because she is part of Mother Nature. She is part of the Green. And even if he were to, win and he takes part of Earth to be part of his collection, she grows back and then uses all the plants and everything of all the bottled cities and rips his ship apart from the inside. So she's going to win in the long run no matter what. And Brainiac, who can't even beat Superman, who Poison Ivy's taken control of multiple times because, he's strong, even though Brainiac knows what his weakness is and has access to it, but he can't. He's not smart enough to beat a guy who's tough. So I think that's pretty much it. Ivy's going to win because Brainiac's kind of lame. Let's be real. For a super smart computer, he's not very smart and he's not very powerful. So, yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Very good opening statement. All right, Will, what does the brain have to say about it?
Well, Poison Ivy is a hot chick with poison lips and makes flowers grow. I mean, that's pretty much all you got there. And she has, on occasion, been shown to be a world threat, but usually it's just Gotham City or maybe a country. Brainiac is a galactic threat, okay? Planets, solar systems fear him. He can survive in space. I doubt Ivy can. And once the Earth is gone, I doubt she could survive that. But even if she could, well, he'll just throw her into the sun. Besides, there's so many chemicals and contagions and other things. He could mow that grass down. All right, know what I'm saying? Brainiac is a constant threat to the greatest superhero there ever was, Superman. He's a lot more than just a strong guy. Okay? Ivy is often beat by a rich kid with daddy issues, Batman. All right? He has no actual powers. So I think my case is pretty strong here that Brainiac can definitely defeat Poison Ivy. I mean, let's face it, she usually has to use her looks to really affect these guys. Brainiac doesn't even affect him. Half her power's gone right there. I mean, what more is there to say? Galactic threat versus, Flower Girl?
Oh. Well, very good opening statements. And you actually brought up and I'll kick things off here. You actually brought up what I was thinking a question I thought going like, out of the two of them, who has the bigger arch enemy and all that? Do you mean Poison Ivy? Yes, Batman is one of the greatest superheroes in the world that he can take on these powerful leaguers too, because he's prepared. But still, Brainiac has a powerhouse that is Superman. It's hard to, if you can go toe to toe with Superman.
So wait, Brainiac always loses to Superman. Always, every time, always has lost to Superman throughout comic book history. Always.
You do realize we're both refereeing villains, right?
Right. No, I'm
they
saying
both
that.
lose
So
all the time.
I'm just going to say, like, he always loses to Superman, and yet on multiple occasions, if it wasn't for Batman or somebody else, actually it's been Batman every time, Ivy has taken control of Superman and used him as basically a little boy toy on multiple occasions. And like, actually, if she wanted to, she could really just take control of him again and point him at Brainiac and win without actually doing anything else. So you like Big Will's like, oh, she can't use her powers of persuasion on Brainiac. She doesn't have to use them on him. She could use them on everyone else if she needed to. She's literally taken control of the whole planet before, all the people on the planet. So she can use everyone else to defeat Brainiac. She doesn't actually have to do any of it.
Well, I granted you before, she has on occasion been a planet-level threat.
Yeah.
Brainiac's multiple planets always has been a planet-level threat and a galaxy-level threat. And yeah, she has taken over Superman before, but every time she does, he turns into an idiot. I mean, Batman dodges him and is able to win the day with just, a little kryptonite in his belt. So Brainiac...
No, that's not how I actually won the day, but that's okay.
But anyway, the point is...
kryptonite that Brainiac, which is Superman's weakness, that Brainiac has all this access to and never can figure out to effectively use. This planet galactic threat AI can't ever figure out how to effectively use kryptonite against Superman, yet Batman and everyone else seems to be able to, because Brainiac's so smart.
But you're repping a girl that could simply send in a plant or a toxin and kill her biggest enemy, Batman, anytime she doesn't even think of that stuff.
See, there's a difference. Is she isn't that type of villain. She doesn't care about the universe. You say she could be. She doesn't care about the universe. She cares about Mother Nature. She's an eco-terrorist, but she's not like a sadistic murderer. That's not her goal. That doesn't mean she couldn't, if she wanted to, wipe out the planet, because she could. She just doesn't, because that's not her way.
Well, technically, then, I mean, Brainiac's sort of the same way. He wants all the information, and then he destroys the information once he's got it.
Yeah.
That just happens to be a lot of people on the planet, so they die. But he doesn't really care either. I mean, he's just doing his thing. But Ivy doesn't care about the people either. If they die, they die. But this is about which one of them would be able to win against the other. And just like Ivy can't really die, Brainiac always has a download somewhere. He's always escaping. And he does bring Superman to his knees. Ivy, I doubt she could do that. She's taken over him, once or twice, and it always ends badly. And yeah, he always loses, but Ivy always loses too. They're villains. But against each other, she doesn't have a chance. Brainiac has got this. He can survive in space because he's Brainiac. He's not biological completely. So, I mean, she's got to have a connection to the green, right?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to actually be much of a connection, though.
Yes,
and Brainiac would not actually destroy the green, though. Even if he destroyed Earth, he's going to take part of it for his little collection. So even if he wins initially and destroys the Earth, he's going to take part of it, which she can grow back from. It's going to be on his ship, and then she has access not just to the planets of Earth, but all the other planets that he took. And then she's just going to use those to rip his ship apart from the inside.
I see. I see Poison Ivy actually attacking first too, because Brainiac's going to come here looking for a piece of a city and all the information. He might be ignoring Poison Ivy, where she will see him as the threat to her green, and so she might launch the attack first. And I know enough about military battles and all that usually the first person with the initiative to attack winds up with the upper hand.
Thank you, Matt. You just said that Poison Ivy would be scared of Brainiac, but Brainiac wouldn't have any fear of Poison Ivy. I mean, that's kind of my point here, really. And he had the bottle of Xandor, that city. That's filled with a bunch of supermen and superwomen. Never was there a big issue until Superman got it and opened it on Earth.
Well, yeah, because they had never been exposed to yellow sunlight.
Yes, because Brainiac didn't let them. So even if he got Ivy in one of those cities, he would make sure she would never be able to do that.
So, even if you say he knew that he had Xandar before he knew what happened to Superman when he went to a yellow sun. He knew they were from a red, he took that bottle before he knew what the consequences were. Brainiac didn't have that knowledge previously of what would happen with the Kryptonian. But, so you're saying, he managed to control them. Well, yeah, because they didn't have powers. She would still have her powers, even in a bottle.
I don't know necessarily, because he would have a city. There wouldn't be much, if any, plant life. And he could probably just put some, Roundup in there or something. He's Brainiac. He'll take care of that grass. Easy.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Out of the two of our villains here, yours is much better to look at and more fun.
More interesting. Also.
And yes, she is more interesting, but this is about who would win. It's Brainiac, hands down. I don't even think it's really much of a real contest. I mean, when you say Brainiac, I think Dark Side and people at that level.
Oh, no way.
I don't think Batman villains who are all psychologically scarred people.
Brainiac does have the benefit of being cold-hearted robot, no emotions in there, all logic and all that. So he can, at least that's my interpretation of Brainiac. I could be wrong, but Poison Ivy's a little more emotional. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
he's still part human, yes. Unlike Brainiac, who's just a computer.
That's the main weakness of both the characters you just named.
I keep going back to the fact that we talk about Brainiac's this global threat, and he has all this knowledge, and yet he doesn't apply it very well. He's not actually that intelligent. He's never shown, first of all, he just keeps coming back for Superman to beat his ass, all the time. If he has all this technology, why does he even have to come to Earth to destroy it at this point? Why does he have to do anything? You say he knows about the yellow sun. He's never just taken out the sun to end our Milky Way. He's not actually very intelligent. That's my whole thing against.
Well, I would say he is. I mean, at one point he went to Apokolips to try to take that planet. And both Darkseid and Superman had to work together to defeat him.
Well, I guess he's got a whole bunch of little drones. Yeah, but he's not. I stand by the fact that yet he continues to lose. His whole thing is his intelligence, and yet he doesn't apply it. That's my point. He loses
I
the
think the
Superman
evidence
all the time when all he has to do is take away the source of his power.
he keeps coming back, I think, is a sign of his intelligence.
But she can do that too. Like,
Yeah, but it's not because she's smart. It's
wait,
her
is that
biology.
the point of his intelligence? If he keeps coming back to lose in basically the same way over and over again, he doesn't
There's been a lot of times, though,
learn from his losses.
when he has
He
learned.
doesn't move on and like gather more knowledge before he comes back. He just comes back to lose again. He comes back to lose again. Who's the logical one?
Well, how many times has Ivy actually won? Same amount of times.
but
I mean,
her
come
thing
on.
is she's trying to protect nature. She's not actually trying to control the world. She's trying to protect nature.
Brainiac's gathering information.
Trying to
That's
gather
it.
all the knowledge in the universe. So if he can't beat Superman, why doesn't he go gather all the other knowledge in the universe and then come back? But he doesn't. He comes back and loses, and then he doesn't apply what how he lost. And
He has brought Superman to his knees multiple times.
And
Superman has almost died.
She's done that too, and it took.
And they both lose every time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you really can't use that as a measuring stick. But who's afraid of Brainiac versus who's afraid of Poison Ivy? I mean, that alone should tell you something. And Poison Ivy isn't known throughout the galaxy.
Right.
Brainiac is.
Well, that's because she can't travel.
Another take against her and for me.
You got a point there, I guess. So she's limited to one world.
Travel. She's where she wants to be. Like,
yeah.
Connected to the Earth. So yes.
I guess Dr. Doom's fan club, says Ivy's brought Superman to his knees also.
I believe maybe twice. Brainiac, a lot more than that.
Well, how many times has she actually fought Superman? Like,
well, usually she just has to get Superman in order to defeat Batman, is what she's trying to do. So, I mean,
okay. This is a fun argument. So JP, how would Poison Ivy take on Brainiac exactly?
Well, I don't think, like, first of all, like I said, if she could if he's coming to take over the planet, like, first of all, she's going to use her power to take over others that could fight him up in the air where she doesn't have to. If he defeats those and he comes down to actually try to take out the planet, then she's going to use all of nature in the planet to fight back and destroy him. And even if he does wipe her out, he can't kill her. And whatever he takes, she will grow back within and then destroy his ship from within. So.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So, I keep on settling onto the thought of I imagine these two facing off. I imagine I see the power and the benefit of both, but I have a hard time seeing. I guess maybe it's because of my lack of Brainiac knowledge.
Ask me the same question.
His argument's going to be basically because of his technology, he can come down and he can just blast the Earth and destroy Mother Nature and kill all the plants, mow the grass is his whole thing.
Yeah. So
what? It's going to come back. It's going to come back.
Ask me the same question, and I'll use the scenario that you put forth, where Brainiac doesn't notice Ivy until she makes herself known.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was gonna ask you how he would do it because it's my lack of Brainiac knowledge to imagine how he's going to counter her, other than bottling up a portion of Earth.
Well, he'll probably come down in a spaceship and be taking over some city somewhere, getting the information, to wipe the whole planet out and all that. That's going to be a threat to Ivy. He doesn't really care about Ivy, probably doesn't even know her, but Ivy will see that as a threat and do whatever she can to defeat Brainiac. And I mean, she will probably most likely do what JP said, take over some powerful people, send them against Brainiac. And then at that point, Brainiac will know, okay, why are they... Okay, they're attacking me. That's normal.
She probably doesn't actually even have to do anything. If they're on Earth, she doesn't actually have to do anything because, she doesn't even have to take control of Superman.
Yes, but we're having them fight together. We gotta figure this out. So anyway, and then
he's not actually a threat to her.
Brainiac will figure out, there's some sort of chemical or something, or how is it when she kisses him? It's like a chemical, right, or something that makes him take over. Anyway, he'll figure that out and either try and work to cure that so he's not bothered, or he'll just go into orbit while he's draining the information and then use his drones and other things to just burn the planet down completely. And then once he finds out, oh, she's still there, he'll just annihilate the planet. Like go to the core.
Then he won't have any.
Something.
He won't
If
take his little
that
trophy.
much of a threat, he
His
will find a way.
programming will not allow him not to take his trophy. He's never destroyed a planet without having his trophy. It's like he's not. That's
he'll definitely get that first.
But if he does that, then unless he's going to take no dirt, which means the people on there have no way to, in his little trophy, will have no way to survive.
Well, he usually takes a city. There's not really much dirt there. It's usually
but he has to have some way for them to feed themselves in order for the creatures on the planet to survive, which means there has to be some sort of Mother Nature in the little bottled city.
Well, he could probably set it up so they could redo their own excrement or something, like how they think astronauts are going to. There's ways around it.
There's no way around it. There's no city on Earth that you could take that would not have any plant life or soil in it.
We're talking about Brainiac, man. He's got the knowledge of 1,000 planets. I'm sure somebody's figured something out.
Tough guy that can fly.
All right, I have a question for you, JP. I know that, like I said, Brainiac will come down. He'll take his prize city. He'll take the knowledge that he can. But then I do agree. Go
ahead. Sorry.
And then I do see the point that this crazy green lady won't leave me alone. I can see him destroying the planet after he's gathered his prize and the knowledge. How is Poison Ivy gonna end this fight? Because Brainiac can end this fight by either giving up and say, you know what, the information, I don't care, and blowing up the Earth or whatever, or like I said, taking his information and leaving her behind because she's not worth my time. How are you gonna
but he's
end
not,
the fight?
But he's not going to leave behind. Now, is she going to be able to go up and get his spaceship? No. All she can do is use the plant life to destroy everything he sends down. But if he goes to destroy the planet from orbit, Big Will's right, but he's going to take a portion of the planet. So she's going to get revenge. It's just, does she have the power to reach into space? No. The only power she has there is to send people like Superman after him. But I stand by the fact that he never even gets to fight Ivy because he can't beat the rest of the planets. So we're talking about this as, unless Ivy's on an isolated other planet, that she's been taken to. If she's on Earth and all the other heroes are there, he can't beat them, so he never even gets to face her. To be honest, if she takes control, Big Will's if she takes control of all the superheroes and sends them after him, he loses because he loses every time to them.
Yeah, I got that at least.
Well, I mean, Ivy loses every time too. So
actually, one of the most recent times, the time that she actually took control of everybody in the planet, she actually won, and she decided to let them go because it wasn't doing what she wanted.
Well, all I know is worst case scenario, he takes a city, Ivy pops up on it. She's like, wow, just starts attacking him or whatever. He'll just download the information in a pod or something, shoot it out with no biologics inside, and send the ship into the sun or something. I mean, there's no way he doesn't win.
Yeah.
I mean, it could take 100 years, but there's no way he's going to win. I mean, no way he's not going to win.
Let's clip that. No way. Freudian slip.
Yeah. Brainiac officially surrenders. Poison Ivy wins. All right, next time on the.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Well,
in reality, though, if these were real characters, Brainiac would come do his thing. Ivy would be such a menace. He would just leave and come back later, and then leave and come back later until one of them won at some point after. I don't know. Is she immortal? She's immortal, right?
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't know that for sure.
Well, however long it takes.
I
mean, that's what would actually happen, probably. But I mean,
when she's died, she's just grown back.
Yeah.
So we don't actually know if she's
Yeah.
a woman.
So
Technically, if he pulls up and just goes, I'm going to destroy the planet from orbit before anybody reacts, which is what I'm surprised he hasn't done with Superman anyway. Like if he just destroys the planet from like digitally gets the information and destroys the planet from orbit and doesn't take his little prize, then yeah, he wins because she can't leave the planet.
well, I can tell you exactly why he's never done that before. They've never written it. Well, I mean, in reality, there'll be a stalemate, and then they'll both go to their corners. But if they got to fight to the end, Brainiac's going to win. I mean, come on.
You're right, Big Will. And this thing is, if they're going to like, who's going to win this fight? Who's the writer, and which one do they want to win?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I'm out of questions and thoughts, so unless you guys want to have a few more points and all that, we could almost wrap things up with closing statements.
I think we pretty much argued it out there.
Forward situation, like everybody knows what this is. This is very straightforward.
Yeah.
All right, I'll drop the voting link one more time here, and then we will have it. JP, take it away with your closing statement before we go over to Brainiac.
I have to go first on the opening. Don't I get to go last on the closing?
Do you want to?
Actually, yeah. So Brainiac will go first. So, Brainiac, your closing statement.
Okay, I think I can sum this up in something that JP sent. In our D&D thing, I sent, "Hey, vote for Brainiac," and the straw poll link, and then JP sends a picture of Poison Ivy, and you know how she's a seductress and everything, and goes, "Poison Ivy, you get this." And I respond with, "Brainiac controls the internet. You get all the Poison Ivies you want." I mean, that kind of sums it up here. I mean, yeah, Ivy's cool and all, but in a battle, there's no way Brainiac is going to lose. It may take him 100 years, but he will eventually win. There's just no way around it. And, I mean, just vote Brainiac.
Well, you do got a point there with those statements. So you can't argue with your facts. So JP, what is a seductress's final statement?
I'm just gonna say, Brainiac's gonna overcharge you for internet. Like you're paying out the ass for internet with Brainiac. There's no way that is not gonna be cheap porn. There's just no way. So you're better off just looking at Poison Ivy. So, yeah. So Brainiac is technology versus Mother Nature, and technology often wins in the short term. Long term, Mother Nature always wins. That's just the way it is. So leave your technology out in the rain for a few days. See what happens. That's just what's going to happen. Mother Nature's going to win. That's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen that movie with Johnny Depp and all that, where he's loaded into the AI and they bring him down, and all of a sudden the technology is gone, and you got nature taking over. So it's like, yeah.
There you go.
Apparently, someone forgot to disarm the house before they came in. Lost my thought. Anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, if anyone's still in the chat, which don't know if they're here or not, get your voting links in. But look forward to this last round of the knockout. Love you, hun. The last round of the knockout coming up here next time, where we will have a true apocalyptic fight.
Now, oh wow, it's Terminator versus
Reverse Flash. So
Skynet versus Reverse Flash. Yeah,
Skynet versus Reverse Flash. So either way, you have no fate.
Yeah. But
so cannot wait.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, right before I came in, it was currently sitting at 5-6 on the vote.
Okay,
cool.
So we'll see how many people we got tonight.
We'll see. Yeah, we never know. So, but yeah, when I make, for those who are not watching or not watching, I know listen to it on my podcast for the knockout. When I created this scene on this thumbnail for this last episode, I was going like, yeah, that's the stuff nightmares are made of right there. I just the perfect graphic for combined with there, just like, oh man, I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't sleep good again.
But what's funny is that they both have the same weakness. extreme arrogance.
True. All right, we've had the chance to vote here, so a few more seconds, I'll get that voting link up here. And it's been a lot of fun, guys. I'm glad we finally managed to do it.
That was a good time.
I will say, yeah, it was fun, Matt, but I'll say I think I did good arguments. I honestly think Brainiac should win, but I have a feeling if they just look at the thumbnail, they'll vote for the picture.
Well, it always is a popularity
We'll
contest
see.
more than an argument contest. But
Well, honestly, when I found that thumbnail, I'm going because it was hard finding good images for Poison Ivy to use for for my marketing pictures and all that. When I found that, I'm going like, oh, there's no way in hell I'm not finding a way to use that. That's perfect on the thumbnail. You know,
Dude, she is much more fun to draw than Brianiac. Let's be honest.
She's also much more fun to write because you can do more things with her. Brainiac is a little bit limited as a character to write. I mean,
I think I could do some good writing with Brainiac, but it's easier to write good for Ivy because she's that green character, like Swamp Thing. She's not like a, see. Again, the internet gets you all the boobs.
All right.
You know he's going to charge through the teeth for that. You know, you're way overpaying for internet.
Well, according to you, he's not going to be smart enough to charge it all, and it'll be free.
All right, here we go. The results are in, and the winner is Poison Ivy with 8 votes, Brainiac with 6. Apparently,
that's a popularity choice.
Guys and boobs.
It was the boobs. It was.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a popularity / boobs vote.
The boobs has spoken.
I mean, let's be real, because of the interstellar travel, like that's not a fight he's probably win.
I just knew once it was Ivy versus Brainiac, I'm like, okay, they're gonna vote for Ivy just because she's better to look at.
Well, I said
it comes down to popularity.
I still stand behind my arguments.
Well, she's better to look at, but remember, she has to face this. You know, she has to face. I know. I'm just like, oof.
Well, I mean, you got pretty much the same arguments if it's Skynet, but they've never been anything but Earthbound. So, I mean,
she has a better chance against Skynet than she does against.
And they're not going to be affected by boobs.
Well, again, like JP said, it's not really their effectiveness. It's like she gets Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the argument.
I know, but I've seen the movie Terminator Salvation, my favorite Terminator movie. I've seen what the Earth looks like in a Skynet war. There's not a lot of green.
Hey, there's a lot of dirt. Dirt is organic.
Yeah.
Just because you keep knocking it back doesn't mean like it'll keep coming back eventually. So
true. All right, so congratulations, Poison Ivy. You move on to the second round. The last episode. I will
say, like when we did this, all of these ones, and I was like, and we were going through all of them, I'm like, okay, I got pretty good arguments against most of the villains, that like realistic arguments. And then it was like, oh, she gets to fight an AI. That's just great. Like, none of her mind control or pheromone, none of that stuff works. It's just an AI.
That's why I love my wheel. I love my wheel setting up for these things. I get the perfect
we got down
matchup.
To the end, and I was like, oh, there's 4 options left, and she's either fighting AI, or.
Well, I just want to say, Matt. Usually, I don't get to like advertise because that's what everybody does to get their votes. They advertise it.
Yeah.
But I actually managed to advertise a little bit. I actually think I
more than I did.
Yeah, I was able to advertise more than JP did, and I still have my streak. I've never won this dang thing.
Yeah. Well, you did. Apparently, you should have roped John in there for his X-Men audience.
John was Poison Ivy as soon as it was announced. I had no chance with John.
No, yeah, that was.
I mean, I even made my mama vote for me, and it still didn't do it.
Yeah,
I mean, we only had 14 votes, so yeah, it wasn't. We didn't exactly have a huge voter turnout on this one. So.
Yeah, this one didn't. Yeah, didn't really light anything.
I did win one person, I think, in the chat because the 5th one was my mom, and I had 6 at the end there, so I won somebody.
You got one. There you go.
I got one.
Yeah.
So next time you do this, Matt, if you do this, I think I'm going to be more strategic and really pick.
Yeah. Well, next time I do this season, when I have time to do it and all that stuff, because I don't know I have no idea. I know what the next year is supposed to look like, but I have no idea what my personal life is going to look like,
Yeah.
So I might be slowing down on a lot of stuff upcoming here just because I have no time for it. But if I
Smaller
do,
bracket then.
yeah, if I do this and all that, next season's going to be like Marvel versus DC or men versus women kind of thing, with the final finale being the top man and top woman
Okay.
facing off, then who's really, who wins then?
Write down for future plans. Maybe all D-list characters.
I had that. I think the second season when it was basically all ordinary Street Fighters.
Yeah.
That was when Sabretooth won, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was fun, guys. Thanks for inviting me, Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Matt.
Poison Ivy still sucks because he lost, but hey, thanks.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you both on, Will, and maybe next year. Like I said, I still haven't won. Of course, Comicgories hasn't been on in so long, but at least I managed.
Talk to somebody else. You won one night on Comicgories, didn't you?
I made it all the way to the very last thing. In fact, I had one last chance to win when.
I thought you won one of like the special shows. Or something.
I've won 2 of the at-home editions or 3 at-home editions.
No, I meant like one of like when we do like the little event things. I thought you won one of those.
No,
not a regular episode.
But a regular episode, I made it all. I finally, on that last time I was on, made it all the way to the very end. In fact, I had one last chance to basically winner take all kind of a thing with him, going like, "Yeah, one last chance, we'll winner take all." But I just lost at the very end, so just one win short, or one cover short of winning one episode of the knockout, or not knockout, Comicgories. But at least I had my very best appearance the last time I was on. So
there you go.
There's always that. So, but yeah,
I think John's plan is for Comicgories to come back in 2028. I think that's his plan. So.
Let me guess, that's when the last kid graduates.
Maybe, I don't know.
And he retires.
I think he retires or something. Then you have more time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I'll let myself go because like I said, now that this is actually finishing 20 minutes sooner than I thought it would, I'll have more time to do my plans this evening.
There you go.
So, take care, everyone. See you guys next time for the last episode of round 1. And we'll see who the finalist is for round 2. So take care, everyone. Happy collecting. Till next time. Talk to you later.